What's up, y'all, man? We all know now that Antonio Brown is now with the New England Patriots. Antonio Brown, look, listen, I don't feel sorry for the Raiders simply because the Raiders knew who they were getting in bed with. They knew that Antonio Brown had problems. He had problems in Pittsburgh. The problems that he had with Ben Roethlisberger, no one can know really what happened with that situation, but we can all know that Antonio Brown, he was at fault. We could say Ben Roethlisberger was at fault, but what we cannot get away from is that Antonio Brown missed the last game of the season. Now, the Steelers had a chance to make the playoffs. Now they had to win, and I think they had to win. And the Browns had to win their last game, but it ended up that the Browns lost, but the Steelers still won. But the fact of the matter is this: Antonio Brown was not there for his team, and to me, that's a problem. When you're Yes, you can be disgruntled sometimes. You can not be happy. We know receivers are divas, but in the end, you have to be there for your team because it's a team's game. Football is more of a team game than any other sport because, like I said before, it takes everybody to be on the same page for one play to get off. It takes all 11 guys on the field on offense for one play to work. So, Antonio Brown, news for you. You're not an individual when it comes to football. You are a reliable player. You are a guy that relies on the offensive line and the quarterback being able to be protected by the offensive line and the quarterback getting you the ball. So you at a dependent position. You know what I'm saying? So it was real selfish for Antonio Brown. I don't know what him and Ben Roethlisberger was going through, but it was real selfish for him not to be there for his team. No matter what happened, there's always some explanations with Antonio Brown. Oh, he had a miscommunication with the coach, or Mike Tomlinson, or this or that. No, the fact of the matter was the man wasn't there for his team when his team needed him. So to me, if I was the Raiders, I would have stayed away from him. I understand that the man is a talent. Yes, Antonio Brown is a very talented football player. There's no doubt about it. But the Raiders, the Raiders, and the Steelers franchise will be there long after Antonio Brown retires. So you got to think about the culture of your team. You know what I'm saying? Look, listen, everybody want to win. I know they're in the business of winning, but you can't have one player handcuff your team. So when he went to the Raiders, it wasn't no surprise to me that he acted up. It wasn't no surprise to me that he acted up. Some people surprised. Oh man, you look all the money you making. You got the money, yeah, because he got the money he wanted. He wanted a new contract. He wanted money up front. He didn't get no money up front, but he did get a 2-year, $30 million contract. It's not about the money. Antonio Brown is a head case. He has some mental problems. He have mental problems that's beyond him making a lot of money, because people will say, well, he's making $30 million over the next 2 years. He should act right. If he can't act right and he making $30 million over the next 2 years, then you know it's not about money. It's something about his mental capacity. It's something with his mental state. And social media has just had a lot of these athletes are just lost, and they all want too much attention with this social media stuff, man. Social media has made a lot of these athletes live in this fake world. You know what I'm saying? Every time something happens, Antonio Brown is going to social media. I guess him and John Gruden had a meeting, and he taped it and put it on social media. You know what I'm saying? And stupid stuff, man. Like stupid, dumb stuff. And to me, John Gruden lost a lot of credibility, man, because it seemed like he was just trying to kiss Antonio Brown's feet. And Antonio Brown clearly was sabotaging his way out of the Raiders, because it was a report that the Patriots wanted to trade for him when the Steelers was trying to trade him, and the Steelers I think they wanted a number one or something like that, and the Patriots was not going to offer a number one, so they end up trading him to the Raiders for a number 3 and a number 4. I don't know how that works, but anyway, it was report they wanted him. I'm pretty sure that Antonio Brown agent Drew Rosenhaus told him that the Patriots wanted him. And my thing is this: I think that the helmet issue was a joke. I think that was just a farce, and he just wanted to just come out with, crazy stuff after crazy stuff so he can get out of from the Raiders. Now a lot of people say, now Chris Broussard on his radio show said that he don't think Antonio Brown was trying to get his way out of Los Angeles from the Raiders, because he said Antonio Brown just got lucky. No, 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 sir. He didn't get lucky. This was contrived. You know how this was contrived? Because first it was a helmet issue. First it was his feet. Then it was helmet issue. Then he got into it with Mike Mayock, the president, suspended him for missing practice because of this helmet issue. Even though he was going through helmet issues, the season has not even started yet. He still should have showed up to practice. That still shouldn't have been a way to get out of practice. So the team fined him, rightfully so. So they sent him a letter. He posted it on social media, the letter that the president sent him that he was getting suspended. Then I guess at practice, he threatened to punch the man in the face. Then he apologized. And then he went on social media and kind of took away the apology and said something else, said some crazy stuff. Then he was supposed to have a meeting with John Gruden and didn't show up. So then John Gruden finally let him, they finally released him. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Y'all don't think that this man was trying to get his way out of the Raiders? He never wanted to play for the Raiders. He just wanted the money. He wanted the money, but he wanted the team that he wanted to play for. And he also wanted his money. So now he got both of them. He got his money, and now he's playing with the Patriots. Now let's move to the Patriots. Now the Patriots has been known to sign guys with problems. We know Randy Moss. When Randy Moss had problems with Minnesota sent him to the Raiders. You see the parallel? Sent him to the Raiders. Then he ended up with the Patriots. He conformed. He did good. They had an undefeated season. Remember, they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. Chad Ochocinco went to the Patriots. It didn't really work out. Now he wasn't a problem when he went to the Patriots. It just didn't work out. Corey Dillon, y'all remember Corey Dillon back in the day that used to be the running back for Cincinnati. Then he went to the Patriots and he won a Super Bowl. And he was able to contrive and come into that environment. I don't know about Antonio Brown, man. Antonio Brown is a different animal. He had already posted on social media with him and a bunch of cast in the Patriots jersey and all that stuff. Talking about he had counting his money. So I don't know, man. I believe Bill Belichick is gonna have a meeting with the man. Him and Tom Brady. Tom Brady already offered him to stay at his house. I don't know what he did that for, but they already got a player on their team in Gordon. Gordon that used to play for Cleveland. And Gordon is not a problem like that. Gordon just has a substance abuse problem. So he's not that type of problem. But now you bring Antonio Brown into the locker room and Josh Gordon is in there. Now, is the locker room strong enough? They always say it's always a team can handle one knucklehead. Two when you start getting 2-3 knuckleheads, it started to become a problem. Now, the Patriots only signed him. I think they gave him $9 million up front. He only got a 1-year contract. The Patriots clearly don't need him to win a Super Bowl. We all know that, but it's nice to have him as a weapon. So now Tom Brady has another weapon to go with Julian Edelman, not Burfict, but that one guy, Whitehead, Danny White, whatever his name is, and they got Josh Gordon, and they got Tony Dorsett's son. And he had 2 long touchdowns against the Steelers. They just whitewashed the Steelers. I thought the Steelers were going to play much better. They just whitewashed the Steelers. And usually, we all know, the Patriots start off slow, but they did come in there and just wipe the floor with the Patriots. With the Steelers. And so they don't need Antonio Brown. So maybe Antonio Brown. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If Antonio Brown go to the Patriots, all of a sudden become a model citizen, and just blend in or have no more problems, then we all know he was trying to get his way out of from L.A. I believe he was trying to get his way out of the Raiders. I don't think he wanted to play for the Raiders. Now, he wanted to get the money, but he didn't want to play for the Raiders. Trust me, he didn't want to play for the Raiders, y'all. So he got to the team he wanted to get to. Hopefully the man act like he got some sense. And, he got Tom Brady, arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all times. I still got Joe Montana. But, I wouldn't argue with anybody to say Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all times, and he got arguably one of the best coaches of all time. So if Antonio Brown can't make this work, Antonio Brown just he's just caught up in this social media vortex. It's like a lot of these players believe social media is the world. Like when people talk on social media, on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, Snapchat, whatever outlet they have, they believe that that's the majority of the world's opinion, which is not. It's just a small fraction. But these athletes, man, they just it's just athletes just get caught up in this social media thing, man. It's not good for them. It's not good for their psyche. People like you 1 minute on social media, next minute they don't like you. They got popular trends on social media. Everybody want to go with the popular trend. Then all of a sudden it's not a trend. In the next hour it's another trend. It's just stupid, man. But let me know what y'all think. Can Antonio Brown work? I believe you. I'm not gonna say it's 100% because it's not 100% with Antonio Brown. I say he has a 40% chance of working with the New England Patriots. But I'm out, y'all.